New blah 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 is blah 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 blah. Don't care. Oops. Wait, are these always all rares? I thought there was like some. Oops. Sometimes not. Okay. Hey. Already have it. Huh. Okay. Well, I got a mythic. That's actually pretty cool. So these are like... They don't take up your... I still don't fully get how these work. Like, you open a pack, and this is your rare. You just didn't get a rare if you play standard. Is that how that works? Seems kind of lame. What was I doing? What did I do last time, these two? Okay. Ugh. I feel like this is Eshki. It's kind of like Eski. But it just has that collected company conundrum. But you only get one creature. You don't have to worry about getting two. So basically, one out of every 5 cards in your deck. I don't like this at all. Like, I don't want to play this one. Oh, why does it cost 5? At least it flies. I have, like, no faith in this card. I like this one, kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna play Toph. I like Toph a lot more than the, the other one there. Was it non-token artifacts? So you can play the indestructible artifact lands? Non-token. Oh, yeah. Already sleepy. What have I done? Beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2. Yeah, so indestructible artifacts are pretty cool, I think. Stuff like Arcane Signet. With haste, target lane control with haste, put counters on it. So the One Ring? Huh, wait a minute. Creature type. Do these become elementals? No. They just have no creature type? Interesting. Also, stuff like Esper Sentinel works, I suppose. Are these craftable yet? No? Okay. The set itself doesn't have a lot going on with the commander. Let me take this thing off. Yeah. There we go. So, scales effects. Let's see other skills. Oh, you could play a Johnny. Just slide it in there like nothing's, like nobody noticed. Just slip it right in. The experience counter one? Really? do not know the name nor the effect of the other scales. I thought it had the word scale in it. Does it not? Does it seek? Is that what it does? Ah. I didn't really look at, like, straight up earthbending cards. Apparently there's... There we go. Each creature you control with power less than or equal to that land's power is hexproof. Huh. I guess this is decent inside the deck itself, but not really. Whenever land enters... I don't really like this. Excuse me. Okay, draw equal to the greatest power. The art on the backside is amazing, but I'm not super keen on that card. Oh, I saw this one not too long ago. Actually, this is kind of just fine. Earthbend 2, Yeah, this is just kind of fine. This is a card. I have the rare for it. I kind of like that card too, actually. What about you? Lands. I mean, it's out of nowhere, I guess. What about you? Hmm. Earthbend 1 feels a little lackluster. Maybe it's not that bad. When you cast a spell, I mean, it's something. It's something. It's funny, a card like this exists, but it's unfortunately in the same slot as something as egregious as Roxanne, which should probably just be in here. It's non-tokens though, right? Non-token artifacts. So you can't earthbend the meteors, which is funny because they're just meteors, but they're tokens. Still though, this card just probably just dumb. All right, so let's see. Double counter cards. Like, how does that read? Twice as many instead? Counters would be put on a permanent. Put that many +1. I'm not putting counters on this card itself. I don't know if one extra counter is too crazy. It doesn't seem crazy. Does this work? This probably works, right? The land is a creature the moment it gets counters. It's not like a land still. Well, it's still a land, but it's also a creature. When you earthbend, land becomes a 0/0. Put counters on it. Alright, well, even just, like... Yeah, I think this works. There's another one of that, isn't there? Parallel lives? Anointed procession? Or are those only counters? I mean, tokens. Those might be tokens. Okay, it's like kind of the same thing. What about you? That many +1. Again, this itself isn't getting counters. I don't know if that matters. It probably doesn't. Probably doesn't. I don't have any counters matters cards or... Right. What about you? Tokens. Okay. So, Paradox Engine works. It basically gives my land creatures vigilance. The one ring is just straight up indestructible. Oh, what about Lion's Sash? Is that like crazy here? Is that crazy? So you earthbend this because it's a land? Is that crazy? Permanent. Isn't this really good here? Well, when you're doing the thing, it's good. I think. Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, the main premise, I guess, is Graveyard Hate. There's not like a large reason to play it outside of that, but at least this is kind of like I'm not gonna play Scavenging Ooze, for example. Oh, what about Chainsaw? 3 damage. Equip creature gets large, so this as an Earthbent thing doesn't. This gives trample? No haste. Lizard Blades? It itself has double strike. This has first strike. Beginning of your upkeep, a random artifact is discounted. This is actually kind of cool. I don't know how many artifacts in my deck are gonna thoroughly enjoy that, though. Oh, what about stuff like this? So this enters, you do the thing, you can do this to it. Wait, non-token artifacts, yep. And then when it dies, it comes back and you can do it again, and that is not unearthing it. You can continuously do this, actually. You can continuously do that in your end step. There's no finality counters or anything. Another double striking artifact. Oh, wait, does this work too? Oh, wait, is it exiled? How does it work? Put 2 counters when it dies or is put into exile, return it. So, if this is reanimated as an Earthbent creature, you get the trigger. That's so random. That's kind of cool, actually. Do you have to? Wait, do you have to do that? You may discard. No, you don't have to do that. That's really cool. Might be an Embercleave deck. I kind of doubt it, though. I kind of doubt it. Oh, this is an artifact? Huh. Couldn't have told you that. It doesn't look like one. Oh, here it does. Didn't know that. Does that matter? Not really. It's still just like one of the cards you could just put in here because it's still doing the thing. I gotta remember the other Ozolith. So, This, as a creature, has the text on it. This might be just crazy, yeah. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Non-token artifacts are lands. So, landfall works with artifacts. Wow, this is a lot to this commander I didn't expect. There's a lot more to this. Huh. I suppose... Signets and talismans. The 2-mana ramp slot. Wait, that's not a talisman. That is the... What is that? The lockets. I missed the lockets. I missed these. I haven't played them in like, what? 10 years? Yeah, talismans and signets. I haven't actually played with these. Well, the green ones, normally you don't really care to play. I don't know about the red-white ones. I guess I could play the red-white ones. I suppose. Mox Amber isn't unreasonable. When this is put into your graveyard, draw a card. So if you animate this over and over, you continuously draw, assuming it dies. Sacking your own artifacts works as well, right? It becomes a 0/0. 2 counters when it dies. Yeah. So we could expedition map and repeatedly sack it, but there's no Ancient Tomb anymore, no Strip Mine, obviously. I'm not sure Expedition Map's finding anything that matters in Historic Brawl. I haven't found a reason to play this. A card to always think about. What about you? If I animate this, or rather, Earthbend it, smack my opponent, sack it, does that just lock someone out if I keep earthbending it? It's really funny. As far as I'm to understand what's happening right now, that is actually how it reads. Soul Guide Lantern, another one you can repeatedly sacrifice. Same with this one? Yeah, repeatedly sacrifice. Wayfarer's Bauble, my beloved. Infinite Rampant Growths, please. What does this one do? Go to hand? Yeah. What is it? Not Spell Satchel. What's the food one? Spare Supplies? I can't remember what it's called. Wellspring? I can't... It has to get killed, kind of, which I don't like too much. Can't do it on my own. This exiles? Page counters exile if you do gain 4. Suppose Maze Mind's Tome works. So there's like infinite card draw with this commander that doesn't involve the One Ring. There it is. Spare supplies. Enters tapped. Enters draw. Animated. I have to yet again read this card. Haste. Put 2 counters. It does not untap it. Target lane control becomes 0/0. So it does not untap itself. And the only way to draw the second card is to tap it and sack it. If it just dies naturally, you don't get the card. I still feel like Spare Supplies is interesting enough. I really like Spare Supplies. Lightning Greaves, which I must have overlooked again. What about Stone Brain spam? Is this stupid? Just slowly naming off cards until I'm satisfied. We've seen Winter Moon in decks like this. Winter Moon, Blood Moon. Nah, I don't have to think about that card. I'd rather not think about it. So this one is a Cultivate, and you can spam it. I don't know. Oh my goodness. There are so many good options with this commander. Or interesting options. I don't know. Definitively goodness. There's so many options. Nettle Cyst? There's still artifacts, right? Yeah. Palantir is maybe meh. Yeah, I don't need Palantir. Sword of Feast and Famine? I don't really like swords. I'm not a big fan of those. If I have a ridiculous way... Like, so if I tap... You can untap the One Ring with Sword. Is it what's the Muse? Is it called Muse? It untap... Seedborn Muse? Does Seedborn Muse work? Untap all your artifacts on your opponent's turn? Although, wait, that would work anyways, because that's what it does anyways, I think. Sculpting Steel is funny. Oh, I don't even own it. Rip. This is the untapped lands, right? Yeah. Mindslaver? Oh no. What have you done? Oh. Godo Helm? Listen. You can't stop me from putting Godo in every red deck. You can't. It's my signature thing. Oh, Simulacrum spam? Oh, I feel like I'm going to have a great time with this deck and then just amount to nothing, but I drew half my deck. Every game. I'm alright with that. Therefore, you have to be as well. I mean, I have to play Mindslaver. Wormcoil might be cool again in this one deck. No, is that true? Wait, you Earthbend this, it's a 9/9, and then it splits into nonsense. Oh, the tokens aren't lands, because they're tokens. But you just get infinite Wormcoils. The White Saga that blows up all lands? Well, that would blow up all my artifacts. While I'm earthbending, I don't think I'm earthbending enough to survive blowing up my entire board. You also don't reanimate them unless they're earthbent. Because, yeah. Darksteel Citadel. Worthwhile endeavor. I somehow made it this far without instantly going straight into the Manadorks. 5 rares. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm feeling that one. Worth it. So, it's... I mean, I still need mana, right? Actually, what are we looking like? What are we looking like? What are we looking... Oh, lands. I wish there was a way to save a chunk of lands at the same time. I feel like, yeah, I feel like this might actually be pretty good in Standard. Which is something I don't normally say about, like, any commander ever. I feel like this one genuinely has some pretty good Standard situations. Oh, wait. There's, like, absolutely no way you don't play Explorer. Unfortunately. Explorer? Hello? What are my filters? Huh? Where's Explorer? It's called Exploration. It's called Exploration. I can do it. I promise. I have the ability to, in fact, do it. You just need to trust me. What's the dumb thing I see all the time now? No, Dramoka's command. Counter. Fight. Stop a spell doing damage. Edict. Unwinding Clock? Ah, I see. Val Tressler? Moondancer? Trellisaro? Probably Green Sun Zenith. Speaking of Green Sun Zenith, I need cards for Green Sun Zenith. What's that stupid thing called? Well, I think it's in here, right? Wait. I full stop don't even know how it reads. But I think it's a 2-drop. It's an artifact creature? I don't see it. Maybe it's 3? Oh, wait, no. It's an X spell. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it wouldn't be in the 2-drops. Trample enters with counters on it. Yeah, this is great. I think, sort of, kind of great. I'm blown away at the amount of options I have here. Oh my goodness, I haven't even added Swords to Plowshares. This might be my second favorite commander already, and I haven't even played it. I guess I could play Lightning Bolt. I could also play more lands. Okay. I have said that Esper Sentinel's been kind of meh, but if you make it a 3/3 that can never die, that might just be fine. Might just be fine. So we have 3 Signets, 3 Talismans, Cold Steel, technically 4 Signets, Arcane Signet, Solar Transformer. I'm going to take out Navigation Orb for... I should probably take out Worm Coil. Let's not get too crazy here. Take those out for searching for... What's that called? A card called? There's text on it. Puts a card to your hand. You have to search your library. This one? Legendary, yeah. So search for glory is ideal here. Oh, I didn't add Godo. Suppose I should do that. Godo's actually a pretty... Ramp decks just love this. It's just so... it's so reasonable to get to 11 mana. It's actually just reasonable. Also, Helm of the Host in this deck is actually kind of funny. So... Scape Shift? I don't know what I'd be scape shifting for. What are we scape shifting? Like, what is that doing? I feel like that's not doing anything. Mossborn Hydro, Scute Swarm. I no longer like Foundry Beetle. I also kind of don't really like Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, I don't think I like it enough. I've just found better cards since then. It's just, like, so obtuse to not play Minidorks. Like, they can't hurt me. I guess I don't need Roxanne. Again, it doesn't actually synergize with anything. Wait, that's not true. Hold on. When you... Oh, no, it is artifact tokens. Okay, yeah, she doesn't double... I mean, I have Doubling Season in the deck. I don't know. It's hard to say Roxanne doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But it's also kind of weird to just decide to not play Delighted Halfling. Or Birds of Paradise, or, like, all of them, because why would you not play these, you know? How do you not play those? Seems insane. Molt Tender. Yeah, there's a... We don't miss our... Yeah, we don't miss... I'm trying to think of the words. Our graveyard isn't important. The fetch lands and stuff. I'm not running Ice Chill Explorer. I could. Ah, there it is. I think the Rock is actually a more fitting... a more fitting thing here. I think I'm had my fill of the Sliver as well. I want to go back to my Faceless Wanderer. There you are. Excuse me, Adventure. I feel like my Volt at 48% is already really fast. So, Tireless Explorer... Tireless Tracker... No, Provisioner. Tireless Provisioner. And Mossborn Hydra, Scute Swarm are three really interesting ones here. Or just good. Because all of my artifacts enter as lands. Assuming this is in play. Which maybe you're just asking for too much. You need the landfall card, you need this, and then you need artifacts to be played. Maybe that is just too much. I don't think so, though. Nettle Cyst here is just so funny. Yeah, we have all the Tophs except the mono green one. Don't tell me I didn't do it. Don't tell me I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I said I was going to do it. I didn't do it. I forgot to add the Ozolith. Excuse me. Look, Platinum Angel's not going anywhere until it lets me down, and then it goes somewhere. Oh, actually, come to think of it, I didn't wind up... I thought there was going to be a lot more red than there ended up being here. The vibe I was getting was I was putting red cards in my deck, but I guess I wasn't. No surprise. Well, a little bit of a surprise. What's this do? Alright, what do I not want? What is just not amazing here? A Johnny always has a red permanent, so I think it's fine. Though a Johnny doesn't. I mean, a Johnny's a Johnny. What are we doing? I think a Johnny's good in every deck you can put it in. Probably. I don't have to play it. The fact that it goes to any target is just so ridiculous to me. Like, you can go face, you can go to a planeswalker, you can go to... It's just, like... just absolutely ridiculous. I guess I can shave some lands. Like, half the deck is mana anyways. Yeah, I can shave 2 lands. Although Exploration and Burgeoning don't like that. That's fine. What does the Earth Crystal actually do? Okay. Earth Crystal. What a perfect name for the Earthbending card. I don't think they did that on purpose. Maybe they did. I doubt it. That would imply that Wizards thinks ahead. Let's take one of these out. Do I have Sacred Foundry? Do I need it? I don't think I need Sacred Foundry. I think a basic forest is actually just better. So yeah, the red-white pathway can go out first. And probably the Verge as well. Because again, basic forest is just better. We're just playing some Magic. That is what's up. Well, at some point. Knowing me in like 10 years. I mean, I would love free-for-all, 4-way brawl, but we don't have that, so... What does this do? Stuff. Hmm. Alright, no Johnny. Fine. Honestly, I think the Platinum Angel would be the card to take out. But I just wanted to disappoint me first. It's actually kind of hard to... It's hard to, like, deal with it, isn't it? When you Earthbend it? I feel like it is. You can just keep doing it. Although if they blast your face while... like all in one sitting, I guess you don't get it back in time. I don't know what card kind of... Yeah, I don't know what does that, though. This deck is just so funny. Maybe one of these is wrong. We have a lot of mana that is not land-based ramp spells, so it's fine to probably go down even more. What are we at? 38? Don't want to go lower than that, really. I don't have a free flare without Kami Grazer. Does that matter? No, I don't think so. Yeah, let's maybe just not play Flare. Although Cultivate's just worse, so just play Flare instead. I don't care about double green. Oh, wait. We still have Gene Pollinator in here. Maybe it's overstayed its welcome. What a Toph deck. Oh ho! Oh ho! Oh! Alright, we did it. We're at 100 cards. Toph the First Metalbender. 4-mana 3/3. Non-token artifacts you control are lands. In addition to their other types, this does not mean it gets a land type, so they don't tap for mana. That's what the reminder text is trying to remind you of. And then at the beginning of your end step, you Earthbend 2. So Earthbending is you animate something, it gets haste, it gets 2/1/1 counters, it's now a creature, and then when it dies or is put into exile, it comes back into play. So that means it's hard to deal with things that are that have been Earthbent. I looked at every single Earthbend card. There's not a lot that are really exciting to me, but I mean, that's fine. I mean, this itself is pretty neat. These two are in here. This one can out of nowhere kill your opponent. Animating artifacts that are now also lands is very interesting. So all the doubling seasoned effects, like hardness scales and whatnot, seem to make sense to me. What is more interesting, though, other than just simply animating creatures and making them large and swinging, which there's a ton of decks that already do that, I think it's kind of cool that you can reanimate stuff like this, as far as I'm to understand, over and over, and then your opponent just can't really play the game. Or this, and your opponent can't really permanently kill it until they deal with your commander first. There's also the funny Lightning Greaves thing, where you could give it Shroud, I guess. But I don't know. This is probably going to be one of the first cards to disappoint me in this deck. I intend on taking it out, or see myself taking it out rather soon. This deck is a lot of mana, so I am running the Godo thing. It's just like a ramp deck that has no problem with this in it. Again, it always wins at 11 mana, so I like it. Paradox Engine with a ton of mana rocks and whatnot with the One Ring seems like a line to me. This is also kind of funny because when it dies and comes back without Unearth, which is what Earthbending does, then you get the trigger and you can keep doing that. So that's cool. It's kind of funny. One Ring is an indestructible beat-down creature. Same with the indestructible artifact lands. You just Earthbend these. Now, this isn't as exciting because when they die, you just get it back anyways, and the most powerful thing that this is doing is simply tapping for mana, not being a giant creature. But I suppose that's an added benefit. This isn't too super exciting because I'm not putting counters on it. It's just other things. But I don't know. We'll see. There's a few of these I think I'm not running. I don't. This might have been one of the earlier cards I put in, and I think there's just probably better things than that. We see this commander all over the place now, so I think it fits in this kind of deck. You can also earthbend it, so that's cool. Yeah, Ichor Wellspring was not an option to me because you can't get rid of it. Your opponent has to get rid of it, and I don't like that. Maybe the exception, this card seems nice, but Wellspring has to die. I'm not super enthralled with the idea of only having it be crazy when my opponent kills it. It's also not that crazy itself. Like, Maze Mind's Tome just draws and scries, and this exiles, but Earthbend specifically says if it dies or is exiled, it comes back, so you just keep doing that. The Lantern Claws can be sacked and brought back. So you just have a lot of artifacts that get rid of themselves and keep coming back as artifacts for this thing. Mindslaver Lock is kind of a thing here, so that's cool. Right? Animate it. Lock them out. Seems neat. And then there's the, the beatdown side of it, I suppose. But, I don't know. This commander has a lot of cards. Way more cards than I initially thought that it could play. And this feels like a pile that I'm ready to win or lose with. Let's find out. I can do both my quests, I think. World first. What am I doing? What am I doing? Alright. Engine's a non-bow with earthbending non-lands? What? What do you mean? Oh yeah, earthbending. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Assuming I know what you're talking about, yeah. Okay. What is this? It's the bird. I shall play my Talisman of Talismans. Please counter this. Please counter this. Come on. You know you want to. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. That's not what I meant. Alright, yeah, I'll just keep casting ramp spells if they want to continuously deal with them. Countering ramp spells is the most tempo thing you could... Oh wait, they didn't do that. Okay. So red and I guess green. I feel like this is a huge problem here. I've probably already lost. There could be the argument I can never cast another spell that does anything. But I guess I'll keep trying to cast spells. This thing? Oh, I can't play that. Lightning Greaves? And then leave up the Enlightened Tutor to cast... I don't even know what Enlightened Tutor does here. I don't even know. We'll find out together. Or I might just be dead and not get another turn. Whenever opponent searches their library. Okay. So maybe I don't want to cast it then, huh? I mean, they're at 7 cards, so they either counter this or they discard a card anyways. I guess something my opponent doesn't feel super excited about countering, like this thing for value. Because if I go for Paradox Engine, it obviously just gets countered, spelled, and I go nowhere in life. It's not ideal. But I don't have a long-term solution to anything that's happening to me. Okay, let's try to swing for 2. Oh wait, I can't. Never mind, never mind. Let's swing, I should continuously play things in the order that I would miss them. No. We need to present threats that my opponent has to answer. I can't just dirtle. I'm running out of cards. So they can bounce the token, which I suppose would be a little unfortunate. It looks like that might be the case. They didn't counter it, so they basically like have to counter or bounce the token, I feel. Otherwise, this is weird. They did not bounce Nettle Cyst itself. Wouldn't that have been better, maybe? I feel like it would have been better to just bounce the Nettle Cyst. Maybe not. Maybe now you're just demanding I cast creatures and then it's good or something like that? It's funny when people like don't let this resolve. They just stare at your hand as if they don't know it or something. Like it's still revealed here. So I just cast this. The One Ring is now known about, which I don't even know if my opponent actually cares about that long term. Yeah, this game is, I think, just us losing to my opponent casting counter spells and stuff, and I didn't actually get to play the game. I can cast this 2 turns in a row, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if there's any value in hiding the land. I don't think there is. If I ever crack that land... Oh, I didn't mean to swing. I did not mean to swing. Hey, they didn't block it. They knew about my hand and still did not block that. Why is that? I don't know. They did not have to do that. Also, Demolition Field would have blown up an artifact of mine because they were lands for a second. Although I don't think they're non-basics. I'm not sure how that works in Demolition Field, actually. Alright, the clock has been changed regardless because they searched. They forced a search. This is a spot where my commander doesn't save me, and they probably have a counterspell. Yeah, I just didn't play the game this game. I'm over it. Opponent's acting like there's something to think about at this point. It's done. I probably should have conceded turn 0. It feels like a waste of my time matchup. Which, as we know, on Friday was literally just a mountain of counterspells. There was a lot of counterspells Friday. It was actually insane how many decks had counterspells. And removal. Removal less surprising. Probably more counterspells. Alright. The meta has shifted. And we, for some reason, just all day Friday and so far today cannot seem to find Cavernous Souls. Create ally token. This is probably not a wall of counters, but it still probably has counter spells in it. Do I play Hope of Geoper turn 1? I think so. Yeah. This feels annoying enough to play turn 1. What does that do? Cast your second spell. Okay. Let's put this on red. I am not going to sacrifice my thing. I could have sacked it, but they could just also play creatures. And then I obviously won't have hope every turn cycle. Okay. Let's play something that doesn't run into what I assume is a counterspell again. play this? Yeah, we play this. Could have leveled it up, but I didn't go that line. I shall swing? Oh. Okay. I think that was a good thing for me. I think. I'm not going to tap my Scrabbling Claws because they stole the land. It doesn't matter. Well, I'm sure at some point I'll, actually cast my commander for once in my life. Let's, wait, level this up so it has Ward 1 upon resolving? Sure. Yep. Decline. Okay, well, that's just better than this. It's like still one of the best white 3-drops in the format. Cast this again, and then play a land. Play this. Let's get something to cast Cultivate. Opponent is meowing. Wait, does this have Summoning Sickness? Oh, right. It's in the land zone. It doesn't have for mana. Alright, I thought I had more mana than I did. Not really a big deal. It just means I can't cast this. Okay. Let's put, let's animate this. That way I can draw a card off it. Does it let you know if something's earth? They do swing with... yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. The Ghost Vacuum stops my Scrabbling Claws here, unfortunately. Which means I'm probably not... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm not going to do it then. Let's get a mountain, so I don't run out of those. And play this. Yeah, Ghost Vacuum's actually just in the way now, which is really annoying. So we counter there, I guess. Really think it matters what I Earthbend. They did not tap the Vacuum to just eat something for free, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Vacuum stopping the Mindslaver thing is actually really bad. I didn't think this was going to be a problem, and it is now being a problem. It's probably their only graveyard hate spell, too. It's just randomly in there. and it's stopping me. I can double counters and start to maybe actually kill them with damage, but I think I die to the air before we get to that point. I'm just dead in 2 turns. Yep, I'm just getting... They're just flying over me. That's it. I have no recourse. What is this? Apparently spooked about something? Blows my mind as to what. Cool. Dead in the air. Nothing I did mattered. Ghost Vacuum totally shut me out. Did not expect that. Haven't seen a Ghost Vacuum in standard, historic in a minute. Well, Helm's a dead draw, but these 6 are still not good enough, I don't think. And this is why I don't like this mentor. But I mean, his hand isn't doing anything. His hand is also not really doing anything. Oh, come on. Yeah, I don't... It's not doing anything, but I might wasting my time with this. Alright, well, so far we're up against things that just don't care at all what we're doing. At all. As interesting as what we're trying to do is. I'm going to take out the mentor and... Let's reevaluate this. Has it come up? Non-land permanents. So my commander has to effectively be dead for this to work. And I think that's still fine to me. I still think having that option in my deck is good. I think so, at least. New to the channel, love my videos. Oh, thank you, thank you. That makes one of us. Let's, I'm not taking out any ramp spells. Let's take out... Well, actually, I gotta think of something to put in. That's what I literally just said that about Paradox Engine. I just said that. Huh, Chain of the Rocks. Interaction just gets in the way of trying to do anything interesting. It's not 100% irrelevant, though. Could play Curse of Silence. Yeah, I thought about landfall cards. I mean, Mossborn Hydra is just good in general with the counter side and the landfall side, so I might as well play that one. If I'm gonna take a ramp out, if I take ramp spells out, it might be these two. Ragavan? Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. I don't like this either. I'm gonna take that out. Yeah, I guess Haywire Might's interesting. I I guess. Oh, the only time this has ever beaten me involved them just animating mana rocks, so I imagine that's self-evident. They had 26. No, they had like 3 hardened scales effects, so all of their mana rocks were 10/10s or 16/16s or something. And we have all of those cards in here as well. God forbid we draw any. I'm going to try to not play the Cultivates and try something slightly different. I think all the mana being mana rocks is fine, which is weird. What about this? Second time, double the counters instead. This does see mana rocks. I actually don't really like Earthbender's Ascension. I don't really like it. Uncounterable green spells? I don't really care about that. Is this enter? No. Yeah. What about you? Eh. Yeah, I guess you could run Bristly Bill as well, I suppose. I was thinking about that. It's more on theme than it was a second ago, so maybe it's fine. Tireless Plunderer? Why is that not familiar? Is that the treasure token one? Oh, wait. Unless you meant this, which, I mean, I guess. Yeah, you chat GPT'd me. You conjoined 2 cards that both are somewhat reasonable. Well, maybe not this one, actually. Yeah, this one isn't necessarily reasonable. You meant this card? They're both on the screen now. What have we done? Alright, we're moving on. Probably meant Provisioner. I was talking about Provisioner in the intro. And I suppose at this point it's something okay to put in. What I would like to draw are any of the, increase the crap out of the amount of counters you put on something cards. Because I have all of them in here. So. Sylvan Safekeeper, yeah, I guess. We don't lose the lands too harshly. I think the main issue here so far is just having it in play and then start to animate things, so that kind of helps in that regard. Sort of. There's no mana in this hand. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, ramp, Against Shrines? I don't know. If I want to play against Shrines, I should probably be faster than Shrines. Although Shrines, it's kind of a slow strategy, all things considered. Okay, let's play... Yeah, we just play this. It's quite threatening. Just existing. I could have actually played my commander that turn, which is the power of this stupid card. Yeah, I mean, Exploration is just so stupid. Don't even get to play the game. It's like playing Ragavan. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh, it's so dumb. Don't even get to do anything with my commander. Okay. Well, hopefully all of our wins aren't that, because that would be unfortunate. Oh, look at that. It's someone playing the not new one. It's kind of the same premise of this hand, so I guess I'll keep it. I have Jetmir's Garden, yeah. Oh, Tireless Plunderer is actually a card. Is that the one where, like, they discard, you get treasures? Or no. You get clue tokens. Yeah, it's clue tokens. I wonder what my opponent mulliganed for. I wonder. So if I actually get this in play, it could be very difficult to maybe ever hit me with Shrine spam. But we'll see. Because I'm tired of playing games with Ragavan decides it, and it doesn't make for good content. I'm gonna play this one. And we could name kind of anything we want. I already have double green, I don't need double red. Let's just name white. Yeah, my opponent absolutely mulliganed for this. No question about it. Let's play our commander, I think. Yeah. They could also maybe struggle to deal with Platinum Angel. Could also be a genuinely annoying thing for them. I think I'm gonna play this. What if I just didn't? What if I did this instead, actually? What if I did this instead? Because I have Platinum Angel, maybe I can just chill and just set up some other kind of thing. Okay, well, they have kind of the best of the bunch in terms of shrines in play currently, which is obviously very, very not ideal. So we put a stop here, we play this, we swing with this, we crack this because I want to, get you, and then end step, that, resolve, sack you. So now they can't cast non-creatures until they deal with this, but they can cast them on my turn still, which is annoying. Till my next turn, yeah. So we're not like 100% safe. I also need another mana source, otherwise Sanctum kills me. Of course, they play a creature one. Oh, and it kills my stuff, doesn't it? Oh, fascinating. Alright, well, silly me. I thought I could actually do something. That's my bad. No, you need to kill... Actually, it doesn't matter what you kill. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm still screwed. Although, I think you should kill the Hope of Jipper. I don't know why you wouldn't kill that. Seems kind of weird to not kill that. So, I have absolutely zero faith that I can do anything at this point. That was one of my few outs to this card. And then I can buy myself some time maybe with the One Ring. And I'll make the One Ring a creature? Sure. And then hopefully find a land for this. I think it's safe to draw. I should have drawn last turn, or before the whatever. Okay, I didn't find it. Well, I have the 1/1 counter card that I oh so desperately wanted. So now it's a matter of no, I didn't draw a land. That's right. I still needed to draw a land. I didn't do that part. What does that one do? Makes 1/1s. Okay, the 1/1s don't really matter. I can't say that that is too impactful. I mean, this is going to draw its whole deck, so it's going to find an answer to this. It's just a matter of finding two answers in the same turn cycle, which I'm sure is quite easy. I would say with confidence here. That is probably pretty easy for my opponent to do. I don't have Lightning Greaves or anything. Oh, they don't even have to kill it twice, because I die after they deal with it the first time. So it's just a matter of them having any card that deals with it. And they've drawn a third of their entire deck. I wouldn't say they had the best shrines against me, but those were some of the best shrines you could have had for this game. Because you just have all the time in the world here. That I just didn't stop you. Do you really have no card that deals with this? All you have to do is kill the Platinum Angel. I'm at -5. Anything will do. Apparently there isn't a card in my opponent's hand that deals with Platinum Angel. That seems funny. Okay, well, they'll find one with that, I'm sure. Sterling Grove sack for an O-ring effect or something, and then draw off of the Enchantress Presence. That'll do it as well. Yeah, unidentified hover ship is funny. I don't do enough damage to kill them in the air. I can swing for like 4, kinda. Wow, they just didn't have an answer. They just didn't have an answer. Okay, they choose to still attack me. I don't think that has any... That doesn't mean anything. I don't think that matters. They do make a bunch of 1/1s. They discard a bunch of... Yeah, they just didn't have an answer. So, shrines, I mean, you gotta have a card that deals with it. We've already dealt with this. I'm sure there's, like, swords or something in here. My opponent hasn't conceded, so there's obviously something. Seam Rip would have not done it because it's a non-land. Okay. So, we tap the 1 ring with Cold Steel Heart. No, that's dumb. Let's tap with the Forest. How are they holding priority here? What's going on? Oh, Delighted Halfling. I see. Okay, well, that's a card, I suppose. Do it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Or, I mean, excuse me, 2. Yeah, do it for 2. Okay, that's in play. It's a whole bunch of stats as well. There's no attack. I mean, we did stuff. They passed back, but we're still doomed. We're still kind of doomed here. I don't know if the Shrine deck plays board wipes, but that would obviously do it as well. Negative 43, that's funny. There's got to be an answer to this Platinum Eagle. I'm sure there's something like a swords or get lost. Farewell as well? Okay, they found it. There we go, we're free. I die when this is gone before it comes back, so I don't survive with earthbending. If I had blown up their card draw shrine, we were kind of just fine, which is really funny. We were kind of just fine. It's really, yeah, just the 5-minute card draw shrine was really one of the best things they could have had in their shrine deck. One of the best. Not the best, though. That would be Sanctum of All. Would have made me lose... Actually, immediately. I would have immediately lost to that. Even before the Platinum Angel showed up. Okay, well, see, the problem is I can't get hands that are good that also have the 1/1 counter doublers. I can't seem to get both. My opponent also weaseled out of the Hope of Geoper spam. This deck also doesn't care about Hope of Geoper either. Actually, I can kill their commander, look at that. Didn't even mentally register that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I think? Yeah. Do we? Hold on. I kind of lose a lot of... Okay, I'm actually going to go this route. I'm going to go this route instead. Let's do green. I'm not going to sacrifice this for reasons. Yeah, Thousand Moon Smithy is interesting. Just for the sake of having more... I don't know. Okay, they knew about that. This is a human, right? Yep. Be weird if it wasn't, I suppose. Alright, let's do the funny thing. Sure. Does that change anything? No. Oh, yes it does. Yes it does. Okay, we do that, we do this, that. Alright, you can't cast stuff on your own turn, which for the most part isn't really a big deal for this deck. But who knows, maybe it might end up being a big deal. I have a trick here. Oh, I don't have a trick. I don't have a trick. They have hexproof. They have hexproof. No trick. So this is an elf. Tragic. It does resolve, though. Let's... I mean, I'm always doing the hope trick, I think. But drawing cards with Lantern is pretty good here. I really don't think the hope is worth trying to constantly swing with every turn, because they don't have to play around it. So I think I should animate the Soul Guide Lantern. I just don't have confidence that not, like, using this isn't getting me anywhere. Sure. Sure. Immortal Sun. Okay, let's get rid of this while we can. Holding the land is interesting for Mossborn Hydra, I guess, if I draw it. But I didn't do that. Alright, let's draw a card. Okay, there's one of those dumb threats I needed. So let's do this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait. 7. Wait a minute. I'm counting this again. I'm dumb. It doesn't have mana. 1, 2. 8. Yeah. I think we go back to the hope spam, because other things aren't as important to me. So let's do that. That doesn't work. Opponent, it doesn't work. The hope. Oh no, they made a huge mistake. They tapped their commander. Huge misplay. That's super funny. Are they dead? They're actually dead on board now. That has trample. Oops. They knew about. I mean, I did it earlier. Oh no, opponent. Oh no. Okay, to be fair though, they would have to do something in my turn that actually matters, and I don't really know what would. This still is a giant trampling threat, so whatever this would have put into play, it wasn't Portal to Phyrexia, so I really don't know what was going to happen. It honestly might have just been Thought Monitor, and they just wanted to start there, but nope, get schmeated. Get schmeated. Alright, let me look at Smithy. And what was that other card we were talking about that I don't remember because I'm not good with thinking? Yeah, sure. Cityscape Leveler? What is that doing? Is that good? Yeah, I think so. It's a cast trigger though, isn't it? That's probably fine. That's probably fine. I mean, in the game with the Platinum Angel, we would have preferred it to have been Cityscape Leveler. So yeah, why not? Why not? Uh, my favorite non-meta card? I don't know how to answer that, really. From the new set? I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what is or isn't meta. It's hard to have a meta in a format without a rank system or anything like that. Well, that's not true. What I just said is a lie. I don't know what the greater meta is. I guess the Shrine Commander, just because I like Shrine decks. I wouldn't consider Shrines like meta, but it's part of the meta. I guess. I don't know. Let's see. No, engine doesn't work when my commanders didn't play at the same time. Honestly, I think Scute Swarm is just better than I think it is in this deck specifically. Having all of my artifacts also draw a card with this might be cool. I think. Ice Till Explorer, and I don't really capitalize on the self-mill. I don't really like it that much. Loading Zone? Did I misread it? No, it just doubles the 1/1 counters on my creatures. Which is the Earthbound creatures. I think it was basically mono green to start. I don't think that's changed. I think it's gone up or down. Proliferating with Sage is kind of interesting. It does mean you already have a board state with counters everywhere, and I feel like those board states I'm just winning. If I have like 3 creatures that have counters and... Well, that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. Oh, fine. I don't want to take out the Godo combo though. It's my thing. It's my signature thing. I even put it in non-red decks, if I can talk. I've been stuck in puberty for like 15 years at this point with my voice. Tiles Tracker is not unending loop now. It's only non-tokens. That would be funny, though. That would be funny. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I had it in here for a second. I know I had it in here. I had Mythweaver Pock in here for, like... I don't know what happened to it, but I know it was in here. That should have been in here. It copies all your artifacts that enter as lands. As far as I'm to understand it. I haven't seen that happen, but I would assume that's how it works. Mishra's Bobble? Yeah, I suppose. It's like the same as these. It's like the same as those. Every time I animate something that gets sacrificed, it is something I'm not animating something else. I don't know how many of that effect I want. But I don't hate Mishra's Bobble. It might just be better than the ones I have in here. I'm not opposed to that, really. Let's take out the claws for Bobble. That's fine. Do I have Mishra's Bauble? Oh, okay, I do. Mox Amber's kind of neat. What do I do? Actually, the deck mana curve is very low. I really don't think I need it. Yeah, I never put 9 lives. I tried it a few times, but that was... 9 lives Solemnity doesn't really work out in Historic Brawl. And that's been a while, for years. Actually, ever. It's never worked. At no point in the history of Historic Brawl has that worked. Trust me, I've tried. Day 1 of Historic Brawl didn't work. If anything, it might be slightly better now, because less decks have outs to it. Especially with Sterling Grove. But still, it's so wildly unreliable. I mean, you can now play Phyrexian Unlife instead, so you don't lose the game when it's gone, so it's even more appealing. But still just a little preposterous, as we saw with Platinum Angel. Chromatic Lantern, just so they tap for mana. I mean, sure, yeah. Is there another one of that? Is it just Chromatic Lantern? Isn't there a green enchantment that does the same thing? Lands tap for any color. Lands you control have... this thing. Aha! It itself doesn't tap for mana. Does it do anything else interesting, though? Untap a land, it becomes a 3/3 with hexproof. Okay. Mill 3, permanent. Yeah, I mean, why not? Dryad? Does Dryad read that way? I don't think it does. Does it? Well, yeah, it does. It literally works that way. Okay. Again, how many of this effect do I want? What am I doing with all this mana? I don't have any crazy X spells. What I do have in here, which I kind of haven't really been excited about it. Well, at least this one hasn't been exciting. This one can just out of nowhere one-shot someone if I ever actually get Hardened Scales in play for once. But this one has been kind of meh. Let's not run that one. Helm of the Host is a actual card in this deck, so it's really just Godo that's the annoying card in here. Like, Helm isn't a bad card in here, I don't think. It does stuff. It does do things. I suppose because I need to make room for so many things, some fundamental thing needs to be removed. I don't think Mana Rocks should go. I think the Mana Dorks are better. And I don't know how exciting it is to really animate these. Like, does it matter that they're artifacts? Precisely. Kind of, but not really. We do have Nettle Cyst. The World Tree. I think you're talking about the World Tree, not the God Tree. Yeah, I could put the World Tree in. Monocolored tap lands are kind of meh. But if I'm to understand it correctly... Where are you? Oh, right, it's a 5-color... Oh, no, we can't put the World Tree in here. We're not a 5-color deck. That's right. I've had that happen to me in the past. I'm not going to get confused this time, I promise. Can't play that one. Actually, I don't promise that. Boomy? Bommy? Huh? What is B-U-M-I? I'm not taking out Paradox Engine. It's hard to eat my opponent's cards with Lion Sash. Maybe it's just too, it just doesn't feel that exciting. It like I don't put creature or cards in my opponent's graveyard, and I don't really put my own stuff in my graveyard either. Also, some of the stuff in my graveyard gets reanimated because it comes back as a from the earthbending. We're talking about an actual card. I didn't know that was the name of the character. I looked at this before and I said it was just worse than Roxanne. I don't think that's changed. It doesn't have haste. You get to earthbend immediately, I guess. And then this has to hit your opponent for anything to happen with it. No, we're not playing that. I mean, yeah, this card just is... it's just like Roxanne, but like way, way worse. It doesn't have haste. It doesn't... I don't care about this at all. I don't care at all about what that card's doing. I'd say it is very far from busted. Actually, I would say with confidence it's not very good at all. Oswald is kind of cool, especially if I refuse to take out Paradox Engine. Yeah, Oswald. And then there's the Birthing Pod is blue. Yeah, the Birthing Pod for artifacts is blue. Yeah, with Ashaya, all of your stuff are lands. Yeah. I think I would prefer to take out the Signets and Talismans. Do I have... Wait. Yeah. I think we're going to go that route. I'm not really sure... I swear, there was a reason I had Talismans in here, and now I don't know what that reason was. What was my thinking at the time? Why did I want those? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I wanted them. I mean, they're just lands. They're effectively rampant growths that are sometimes animated. I don't know what I want them. Yeah, this is the third time someone said Icor Wellspring. But again, I can't kill it, so I don't like it as much as the ones that I can kill that actually draw cards over and over. Like Mishra's Bobble. Oh yeah, I guess I can now kill it with Oswald. Yeah, Oswald's actually a really good idea. Oswald's actually really good here, I think. I do have a 5 into a 6 as well, if that happens. How many artifacts in here do I need to have that? I don't care about Graveyard Hate. I've never cared about that. Don't rent a card because it specifically does that. I would not ever recommend that. Not in this format. Unless you're sick and tired of losing to that blue-black self-mill thing that I can't remember the name of. The Spider-Man thing. If you're tired of losing to that, I guess go for it. Ghost Vacuum is actually doing something. But I still like Lizard Blades. I'm trying to get games with Hardened Scales. This can just suddenly be an 8/8 double strike. Okay, I'm just trying to get that to happen. I can also move this onto something as well. Doesn't have to be the thing itself. I just want my counter doublers. Just once, please. Please. Where's the doubling season half? Where is it? Where is it? Creature count? 27. Roaming Throne. Naming human? I like that. I like. It's also like. It's also an artifact, I guess. All right. Well, yeah. Just taking out the mana rocks is just fine by me. Fine by me. That's fine by me. Thunderous Velocipede? With an additional counter if its mana value is 4 or less. Otherwise it enters with counters. I never really give this card a shot. It has the counter things. Oh, but it doesn't apply them to the... Maybe, is that okay though? Like if I play... I don't know. I'm trying to think of a card. Let's say I play Chromatic Lantern. It's not a creature until it's already in play later. Each other creature enters with the 1/1. Yeah, so it doesn't play well with the commander. Are there any creatures in here that would want that to be a thing? Oops. Oh, there it goes. It doesn't work with Earthbend, but if I have hardened scale stuff in play, it does kind of scale out of control pretty fast, I guess. Like you play Mossborn Hydra and it's instantly lethal instead of kind of instantly lethal. Crewing it doesn't get me anywhere, right? Not particularly. Although, if I do crew it with my commander, I could supposedly swing with it over and over? Oh, but it becomes a 2/2 if I want to have it survive dying from this. Because it becomes like a 0/0 with counters on it. It doesn't stay the 5/5. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to... 4 or less. It's all 1/1 counters for the most part in this deck. It's actually exclusively just 1. I never get the 3 with this deck, ever. Except on something like Cityscape Leveler, where it just doesn't matter. So it's always a 1/1 counter. I don't hate that, I guess. Especially if I ever actually get Hardened Bonds in play for once. That is the way to do it. There's another one that does this, isn't there? Like the weird thing? This thing? Isn't this the same thing, effectively? Another creature enters with counters where it's its power. Like it's just another version of that. Everything enters with double power. I already looked at Kami when I was making this to start, and I wasn't super sold with it. Assuming it's the one I'm thinking of. This one. Yeah, Thunderous is an artifact. It is an artifact. Yeah, I don't... Toph doesn't put counters on this. That was the problem. I don't... This isn't really the same at all as this or the other thing we were just talking about. I do not apply counters to this card, basically, period. Unless I would... specifically have one of these, the plot thing of that vehicle. I suppose the top part does actually matter, kind of, but I already took out the mentor that had the same text because I felt like that was a little lackluster. Maybe it's fine. It is at least taps for mana, I guess, but like, I just have no way to make this larger. Yeah, Ouroboros. I actually like Ouroboros more than Railway Brawler. If I can spell it. Oh, I did it. I spelled it. It's one of those, you leave it alone and it goes crazy. I don't have to interact with it kind of cards. And again, I don't actually have a way to, like, put counters on this. Does this do that in some way? No, it doesn't. All I can do is, like, double counters. I can't put counters on things, so... It doubles the Earthbend triggers? What? What card are we talking about? Roaming Throne? What doubles Earthbending trigger? How do we Earthbend twice? I must have fell out of the conversation somehow. Does this do that? The Bristly Bill enchantments with landfall counters? Yeah. I'm still kind of more focused on actually finding hard skills first, which we haven't done. Kind of fixated on that. It doesn't double it, does it? It only gives one, not two. Right? Yeah, just one extra. So that goes from Earthbend 2 to 3, which is not very exciting at all. I don't know. It's tapped for 1 minute. It just feels so not that great. I don't know if I see. The problem is making room for the more of the Bristly Bills in the enchantment slot is maybe just too much right now. I'm still trying to actually go crazy. Yeah, I don't know if I want this. Feels a little too hard to get away with anything with this card. Okay, no Signet. I'm just off the mana rocks now, which I think is okay. Gamble. I mean, I play Gamble. A lot of my Godo decks have Gamble in it. I really like this commander so far, just thinking about the deck more than actually playing it. But that's me. Yeah, I'm not going to try Velocipede. Alright, let's play more Magic. I will sit in the deck builder for 5 hours and not play a game, if it were up to me. I love making decks so much. I love it. I have like 500 decks on Cockatrice. It's ridiculous. It's not a 7/7. It becomes a 0/0 that gets 2 1/1 counters. So it Thunderous, or when you crew it as a Earth thing, it will only be a 2/2. It becomes a 0/0. It will not maintain its stats. Alright, it's the blue-greenness. So basically mono-green. So, they didn't have their 1-drop. Tragic. Tragic. I think I'm playing Tireless instead of Ozolith next turn. Yeah, it segues into... Yeah, especially with this tap land. I guess it depends what happens to the bird. I don't know. Or what I draw. Okay. The old, honest, rampant growth with an art I don't recognize. Okay. Sure. I just realized all the lands I've played are green. I mean, it's, I guess better than just running this out. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Well, we're both doing the same thing. My opponent's probably vastly more dedicated to doing it, though. So, Commander or not Commander? That is the question. I think Commander. I don't necessarily lose to Wash Away immediately. Looks like they have Wash Away. Why not? Yep. Of course they do. And I'm going to play this and never crack it. Ice Till Explorer. Do we have a fetch land? Of course we do. Alright. Mono green, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to shift enter. No, they found a better fetch land. Now they don't lose any life. They can also do basically whatever they want here. They do not? Wait, no, they already played 2 lands. Okay, never mind. They can't necessarily do everything they want. Let's see, have we gone mono green perfect ramp curve into double perfect counterspell? Let's find out. They had the first one. There's no attack. Alright, we drew a card. We did it. Now we just have to have it actually mean something. I'm not gonna do this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The One Ring can save me for a turn cycle against... I don't know what. They did play Confounding Conundrum. Maybe this is actually a real card again? I should look into this more. I don't know. I feel as though every time I play it against mono green, when I have this, it either doesn't stop them, or sometimes actually helps them. Which is just absolutely preposterous, but... that's how mono green operates. It doesn't really care what you do, it just does its own thing. The entire game. Yeah, there's no... it's not very likely I get to see the card they're going to draw with this. And again, I don't think that matters. The One Ring can stop me from dying for a turn cycle, I guess. Mirari's Awake? I think I'd rather play, like... I'd put Cultivate back in before I play Mirari's Awake. Yeah, I would most assuredly put Cultivate back in. Okay, looks like nothing we did mattered this game. Amazing. Literally nothing we did mattered. My opponent played ramp spell, ramp spell, ramp spell, ramp spell, I lose. Amazing. They also had the 1 mana best possible lose spell sprinkled in there in the form of Wash Away that I had no recourse to at all. This player usually plays, I think this is the same person. They play Fibblethip. Unfortunately, they're not playing Fibblethip right now. I have the Bauble, but then I have nothing else. That seems preposterous. Alright, I have the Bauble again, but slightly more other things. I'll take it. I'm not going to play the Bauble, because it'll have to spend years with priority. I'm gonna play this instead because I don't think my opponent interacts with my commander, so Lightning Greaves is less appealing. Bloom Tender, that taps for, what, 3? Man, this is the most honest I've seen Rofellos in a minute. They just cast it and ask me what I'm gonna do about it. And I say, probably not anything. So, Sacred Foundry, this card, Bobble. Make Bobble a 3/3, right? Yeah. Lose to a 6-drop on turn 3? Oh, I guess not quite. I guess. Okay. That's a pretty cool one here. I forgot to crack this. Although, well, yeah, okay, I should have cracked it. I'm not gonna lie, I should have cracked it. I should have done that. I guess I'll do it now. Alright, they're drawing a land. How exciting. Let's put this on you. I don't think it matters, because I can't really swing anyways. This costs how much to activate? It's only a sorcery as well? Okay. Well, I did a bunch of cool stuff, but my opponent's mono green, so it probably doesn't matter. Okay, well, that's one of the cards that gives me stats over the course of this game. Let's do this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then... when does this happen? Whenever you attack 2 creatures you control. I just don't have an attack. And I think I'm gonna crack... actually, let's do this. That way I can have that happen at some point. I mean, I feel like I'm extremely close to just being dead. Yeah, and something like that, just simply winning the game. Basically on the spot. That was their top deck, because they could have cast it last turn. Okay, this doesn't actually do damage to me. Maybe I can't afford to have that deal damage to me. I just can't afford to have that happen. Take action. We did it! We drew 3 cards. We did it. Now we have to somehow not lose the game to this. I don't know what that looks like. Play this. Wait a minute. How much mana do I have? 7? Oh wait, no, there's a land in my hand. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do against Annihilator 4, though. What if I just warped this, actually? Yeah, maybe I should have just warped that. Thought about it harder. And then when do you do this? At the beginning of your first main phase. Okay, that's not a thing here. Let's, I guess do this? Okay. No matter what I do, I have to put counters here to, like, find things as this game goes. Like, I'll just chump block and whatnot. I survive Annihilator 4 kinda decently, but I don't have a scary, like, attack back at my opponent here. And they're also still just chilling with Omniscience. Okay, no, I remember it. Yeah, it didn't matter. Mono green just ignores everything you do and wins the game. I had no answer to that. There are some in my deck. I mean, I was doing things. I was doing exactly what I wanted to. I did more than I in that game than quite a few of the other ones. Doesn't really matter when your opponent plays Ulamog on turn 5. At least I don't think it does. Or was that turn 6? That might have been turn 6. Probably doesn't matter that much. Okay, it's mono green again. 3 mana, 1 ring. That's another hand that has everything I'm trying to do in it, except like a hardened skills effect. But it has kind of everything else going on. Let's get green, red. Yeah, because this taps for white. That's fine. This is a very, very strange 1 mana play out of this deck. Very strange. What does that mean? Why would you play this? Oh, well, there's a reason. Okay. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. Let's play... What am I drawing into? I think I just play this. This effectively draws the same as this, but just cost 3 is on curve and whatnot. Perilous Snare is an O-ring, right? Is this Cavern of Souls? No. Play my commander? Nothing to do with my commander, though. Is that fine? I feel like that isn't fine. There's still no attack, yeah. Alright. I'm not too upset with this, I guess. With the 1 ring, if I ever find Paradox Engine, I am less incentivized to play this. And again, I don't actually have much going on with my commander. But I guess next turn I kind of do. Kind of. Oh look, it's that card again. Exciting. Well, it's literally mono green like I said it was. Except the very strange mono red opener to start it all off. They do actually need another red source that isn't free. I'm sure it's in there somewhere though. So I have 5 mana, so I can do stuff here. This is a land, right? Oh. Let's get rid of you, I guess. Alright. Well, we can see the major difference between Provisioner and Tracker. Where Tracker gives you the cards, but you have to like spend the mana on them. So when elementals die, you get lightning bolts. Sure. I don't have a mana to crack this. Alright. Mono green. Mono green. Oh, they found a red spell. No, they didn't. Loses all abilities and is a 3/3. Okay. There is nothing I can do about that. Well, that's a good draw. I'm not dead this turn, so I could take the time to play something like this. I think I will. I think I will. I would like to draw a land off this lantern. And I might just do that here, yeah. Or I'm gonna try. I just want to play a land, which is why I'm doing this now. Imagine, like, seriously, imagine this was Tyler's Provisioner. We'd just be so pretty right now. Like, I haven't been able to crack a single clue. It's so slow. Ridiculously slow. I do have both of these now. Toph has been answered. I have to probably play it this turn. I also have to not die this turn. Okay. Sure. I've displayed the inability to use it, so we take that. I would have rather of them done this instead of the Avacyn's Pilgrim. I'm actually very surprised they did not do it with the Avacyn's Pilgrim. I think that's a failure to recognize what's important currently. I'm literally sitting with 6 clues. What's another 4? Honestly, what's another 100? They did not swing? Bit confused. Wasn't it free? I thought it was free. I don't know. I guess not. That is played as a creature, yeah. Blasphemous Act? Wouldn't I just lose? Wouldn't I just get lightning bolted to death? That's all the elementals would just kill me. Ay, ay, ay. Sure love mono green. Friday was all counterspell control, and then today is all just mono green. What? Do you have red mana? Why did they do that? Okay. They gave me a land, which I will gladly take here. That helps a lot, I think. Yeah, Farewell would be kind of nice, I guess. So I found 2 One Rings, which is funny. I'm going to play that. I'm going to draw off of this thing. Yes, sirree. I'm going to draw off of this thing. Indeed, indeed. Still no land. Alright, well, we have the One Ring, so we're safe for a turn. I don't think there's a... Wait. Oh, wait. Why am I not safe? Hold on. What's in play that stops you from being safe? This thing? It must be this, right? Why did this not work? Something must be in play that stops it. I just don't know what. I wouldn't have played it if I knew that, obviously. What stops my One Ring? This thing. Must be this thing. Combat damage can't be prevented. Okay, is there any way to stop that card? No. Right? There's no way to stop that? Let me think about it. Let me think. If I had played Lizard Blades... So 4 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would still... Okay, actually, if I drew a land, which somehow I didn't, and I equip this, I could kill this in first strike, and then I would live. I would live that way. Playing the One Ring. So yeah, I needed a land. Now, I don't think I would have done this, because I didn't see that. But now that I know, moving forward, that that's on that text box, I guess I gotta pay more attention. I don't really see this card too often, though. That's funny. Why was this a land? Why is this a land? Why is One Ring a land? It entered as a land as well. Which means if this didn't have this, it would have given me a clue token. Why did that happen? That's true. They also just don't have to attack with this. That is true. That is true. It's not 100% out. That is true. I don't know why this is a land. Huh. Arena bug? I don't know. I mean, it matters too, because if I had anything with landfall, I would have triggered it, which I would probably surmise as a bug or something. You can't actually witness protection Toph yet. It's unstoppable when it's in play. But see, the exact thing happened with Tireless Tracker that I always talk about, where you play it, you make clue tokens, and then you literally can never find time to ever use the clue tokens, ever. And we don't really use the artifacts it creates for anything, so I'm just taking it out. It would be nice to not have the wall of brainless ramp decks. That'd be pretty cool. What if we played Atali? What if we did that? Haywire Might's kind of cool. Get Lost, Lightning Bolt, like some kind of removal interaction is neat. Doesn't really help me advance my game plan, though. It's another game where I'm kind of doing the thing I want. It's just everything in the format is doing what they want to do way more. We could just play Safekeeper. I'm not opposed to it. Not opposed to Sylvan Safekeeper, which is a human. It is not an elf, despite everybody thinking it is, myself included. Walls of Bossing say? What does it do? I don't even remember. I read it like twice. The fact that I can keep it coming back over and over is kind of funny, I guess. Well, this hand has stuff in it. It doesn't have enough mana for the commander, though, so I guess I can't play it. It's got the dumb thing, but I don't have a lot of mana to go with it. That's okay, though. That's okay. It's as okay as it's gonna get. Just can't skate out on the ramp. Yep, of course. My opponent stole Birds of Paradise. Of course they did. First non-green player I play against ever, and it just has Birds of Paradise anyways. Poetic. They've cast nothing but ramp spells, actually. During your turn, cast cards. I'm going to go ahead and say with great confidence my opponent's commander is going to be very irrelevant. I'm just going to lose because they played 2 mana sources a turn. What is this? Attack, Death Touch. Okay. Thieving Aven. They're all in on the heist nonsense. Spooky. Let's do... one ring? Draw? Okay. I have one mana rock, which is not very ideal. My opponent just decided to not cast their commander. Siphon Insight. This is a weird time to do this, I think. I feel like that's a strange moment to do that. Play this, draw... Wait, play this. Lantern, 1-drop. No, that doesn't... I don't like that. I'm just gonna draw. Burgeoning, is that good here? It kind of is. Okay. If I can distract my opponent with my commander, I'd be happy. But I have to do that, and it doesn't feel reliable, so I'm just not going to. Godo is an out... What else matters here? Honestly, not really anything. Let's just take this, because it's a 1-mana card to go with my One Ring and Paradox Engine. I think that's fine enough. I don't know. I don't need to necessarily find... I don't know. We're going to either get there or we're not. I'm not terribly concerned about being heisted into oblivion and losing access to some arbitrary win condition. I don't think the game is about that anyways. I was right though, my opponent's commander was completely irrelevant. That the only thing that matters is playing 2 ministers a turn. The commander itself just didn't really do much. As in, didn't enter. It's kind of the same. Okay, they played Island, that taps for mana, they got my spare supplies, interesting. They got my Skewed Swarm, alright, well, that's off the table. Oh yeah, I forgot, they didn't even play a land. Didn't even notice. I shall go find something. I can cycle this card at some point if I draw it, so I'll just leave it in there. It's not very likely to be cycled, though. That is not my relic. Okie dokie. So, let's draw. They only have 1 mana? Or they have 2 mana? I mean, the game is all... It's just completely predicated on does this resolve. It does. So, land... Chromatic Star. Draw. Okay, let's play you. I have a few 1-mana cards in my hand that will continuously allow me to do what it is I am doing. One has no cards in their hand. Wait a minute. How did I run out of mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I'm just dead then. Whoops. How did I run out of mana? Why was the... I thought I had 1 more mana still. I guess I didn't? Really? Wow. Well, that's bad. Yikes. Yeah, I can't survive another turn. Honestly, if I could, we kind of have the Godo thing going. Whoops. Alright. Oh, then it just means I was always dead. Yeah, I was just always dead regardless then. I, for some reason, thought I had, like, 1 infinitely recurring mana with each time, but the 1 ring costs 1 mana to tap, right? So never mind, I need 2. Alright. Rip. Rip. Kind of lost to ourselves there, to be fair. Well, literally, actually. We literally lost to ourselves because they stole all my ramp spells. And other random stuff. Alright, well, I'd say we avoided a green player, but my opponent did play Birds of Paradise. That did happen. We were all there for it. We were all there. We all saw. I like how this commander has like 500 cards it can play. It just... This format is, You know what? You know what I'm thinking right now? I'm thinking, what if I tried a standard version of this? What if I tried this in standard? I think in Historic Brawl, it doesn't... It struggles so... Well, what does it do in standard even? What are the artifacts? What do we have in standard Brawl? I'm just getting completely ignored in Historic. I'm just being totally and utterly ignored. And it's not looking good. As cool as the deck is, I really like this commander. It's kind of a shame. Well, it's got the Earth Crystal. No, it's got that thing. This isn't a standard? Oh, right. I guess it goes vacuum is everywhere. See, now the problem is you just have to... Like, Ketramos is every other matchup in standard. Like, you trade one thing for another. That's in standard. I suppose all mana rocks are fine. Most mana rocks are fine. Oh, Roaming Throne. Man, standard is way too big. This is technically an artifact, so it's technically a land. It's kind of confusing. I don't know if that changes anything. Alright, maybe not too many. Oh, that's actually cool. That's actually cool. All of them being 2/2s means Arabella likes them. Oh, we have World Wagon. Gene Pollinator hasn't done much in standard for me. I can't forget Llanowar Elves. How is Ixalan still in standard? How? That seems egregious. I don't really like these unless they're targeting commanders. I have Walls of Ba Sing Se. How come I didn't see it over there? Maybe I did and I just wasn't paying attention. Oh, I did. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, other permanents are indestructible. Well, this wouldn't solve any of our issues we've been having in Historic Brawl. I suppose to a degree in Standard it does, though, because there's a lot of removal. I mean, it's still an 8-drop, and we have way less mana ramp options. Market Gnome, just because it does something when it dies. The art looks similar. These two cards. Bouncing Toph doesn't do anything. No, it doesn't. This would be nice in Historic if I was consistently putting things in my graveyard. I'm just not doing that. This doesn't look at ET, or my commander's not ETB. Commander's not tokens. It's a 3/3, so Delny doesn't work. Oh, please. Elspeth is just a generically good card in isolation. What about you? What do you do? Maybe not. Okay, so in standard, it's got some stuff going on. Not as exciting. All right, it's not as enthralling as I thought it would be. Maybe for the future. I'm not gonna chew away at that right now. I'm just gonna play more of this. It's almost already been 3 hours, and I'm hangry. I'm disappointed that this is the way that it is. Though I guess I'm not too surprised. You can't just durdle around and do funny, cool things, because you just lose to, like, Lane Royals on the play. But we're doing the thing... Like, we're doing what we set out to do, it's just not good enough for Historic Roll. Play it as a, like, exclusively just creatures, just like a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. Sometimes animate something with it, sometimes don't do that kind of situation. Oh my god, mono green today, man. What is going on today with the green? What is actually going on? I haven't seen Pock in, I think, about a month now. But it doesn't really matter what the command zone is, it's just green. Well, at least I have Ozolith. At least I have this. It can also be animated itself. So I have some kind of scaling threat. I also have like 5 mana turn 2, something ridiculous. What did they exile? Opponent exiled Ice-Till Explorer. Wow. I almost played the wrong card. Also, wow. Alright, turn 2 commander. I think this is the second time we've done this. Okay, they had Gemstone and Exploration themselves. Oh, and Rafellos, of course, of course. We draw probably the worst possible card. Unfortunate. If I play my commander, I am also not playing, let's get that one. An artifact for my commander. So, that thing. Well, yeah, a non-land artifact, I mean. Obviously I have lands still with my commander. Alright. Pock scales exponentially faster than I scale. What did they just get rid of? Choose a type... Oh, Cavernous Souls, okay. I too would get rid of that. Okay, Oswald is helpful. One would argue. That one person arguing is me. Let's swing. Yep. And then animate this. So it does come back with Oswald. I can find a 3 and then a 4 and then whatnot. If they play a land, we're not upset, because that means my opponent has a land in their hand and nothing else. Ideally. Of course, my opponent's last card is one of the best things Pock could ask for. Nope, into now I lose in 2 turns card. I actually found the card I was thinking about taking with Oswald here. I can get the One Ring, but I don't have protection or anything. So, wait, is this a sorcery? Oh, it is. Oh, it's a sorcery. Oh my. So tap this for white. Sack it for 3. I think I'm just dead though. I don't even have 2 turns. I think we just have like no turns. Do any of these matter? Nettle Cyst is kind of interesting. Although this draws cards if I do the thing. And I think I will. But I think I'm just dead. 8, 16, fetch land, 32. It's actually ridiculous that this is my opponent's last card. It's actually ridiculous. Cool. Nice mono green deck. Yeah, like I said, we're doing the thing we want to do. My commander's working. It just sucks. in the field, it's just awful. It's like sitting in the corner playing with really cool toys, and your opponents are playing Legacy, and you're here with like a Timmy standard level deck. Like I'm doing the things I want to do. I am doing the things I want to do. If my opponent's last card was bad there, or just anything that wasn't draw 65, I think we were just fine. We're just chilling. If it wasn't specifically that as the last card there. Walls of Ba Sing Se would not have saved me that game. In fact, most games that involve a mono green opponent, I don't think Ba Sing Se would save me. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna Enlighten Tutor. Actually, I don't know if I'm Enlightening Tutor this turn. I don't know, because I want to draw another land for Pock. Maybe that doesn't matter right now. I don't know. I guess it depends what my opponent does. I envision some kind of uninteractable green spell. So I probably... I just don't know what the thing... Oh, they didn't do it. Alright, that's also notably not a shrine. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I can get the one ring here, right? Yeah. I could get this, but you know what I really just want to do is get this. Actually, wait. This is actually perfectly fine. I'm never upset with drawing that. This is fine. If I'm not playing Pock, this is fine. Actually, I can still just play Pock. I can still just play it. Yeah. I don't need a land to go with it to play it. And if it dies, I still have more cards to play and stuff. I'd rather copy a random land than that one in this spot. It's effectively the same, but it has the higher upside. Okay, it was not the best hit there. I'm not going to lie to you. That was very unideal. It was a colorless land. I'd rather not have drawn. What does this do? Enchantments are cheaper. That doesn't affect that. Okay. Yeah, if I knew this was going to be the land, I probably would have done it the opposite order. That's kind of the only land that would really make me feel that way, I think, in my whole deck, so that's unfortunate. Like, a fetch land was obviously the most ideal there. Alright. No more Pock. That's fine, though. I got the mana off of it. And my opponent notably did not cast their commander, so... They also didn't swing. Why... what? Okay. Why did they not swing? One red. White. Oh. Red. Play my commander. Play this. Get that. Oswald doesn't have haste, so leaving up a white source isn't going to do anything. Oh, well, other than Swords of Plowshares, of course. That would be a factor of that. Alright, it's exploration, but it's at a point in the game where it doesn't have much more like crazy significance. Okay, it's another spot. It's another game where we're like, where we want to be. We can cast our spells and stuff. It's just a matter of it all coming together to something that actually impacts my opponent. Let's... Oh wait, I can find Paradox Engine whatever I want. I think I will just do this now. Yeah, we're just going to put it in play. I can make it a thing here. If I tap that... No, let's just swing for 3. Animate the Paradox Engine so it's very difficult to interact with. Is there any reason to sack this land? Yeah, of course. It comes back. It does come back. I can get one of these? Esper Sentinel? Might actually do something. Alright, I have to do this so I can't die. And then there's some worlds where I can find the One Ring here. But without more mana that taps for mana over and over, it doesn't matter if I get the One Ring, really. What do you crack and fetch for here? Okay, this can't deal with Paradox Engine on its own. But they didn't pay for Esper Sentinel, and they didn't have to do... Alright, they don't even try to kill the Paradox Engine. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, they have the best card in their deck, as is tradition every time I play against a Shrine deck. Well, let's tap you. Sack the Esper Sentinel, which somehow actually drew a card. And get spare supplies. Draw a card. Blow up Sanctum so I don't lose the game. Wait, I should swing first. And then blow this up. And do I sack the hope? Oh wow, they're just done. Okay. I feel like they're kind of fine until I show them some kind of crazy degenerate thing, which I didn't have. Like, until this Cityscape leveler was in the situation. Like, would they have scooped if I blew this up with a Naturalize or something? Because they still have this drawing. And they haven't cast their Commander yet, and they can cast it like 3 times, assuming it dies over and over. Huh. Well, as per tradition, shrines don't look like it does anything if you deal with this card, or they just don't have that card. It looks like a deck at my power level, roughly. So there we go. Yeah, it was hard to... it's hard to get everything I want. What happened earlier in this game? Pock died. I just didn't get this going. We were almost at the point where just giving stats out was part of the game plan. We just didn't quite end up getting there. Yeah, I can liquid metal coating my own Toph, I guess. I don't know, that's... If I'm doing that, that means I'm not doing it on something else, and I don't know if that maths out to being a... I don't know if that, like, offsets it. Because when you do that, that means you didn't animate something else. That might not be worth it. I don't know why I said that twice in a row, but I did. I did. Honestly, the part of the deck that's not coming together is actually the Hardened Scales part. Which is kind of funny. That is kind of funny. We did take out a lot of the mana this deck generates. So, I don't know if Godo is... Like, of all the green decks I've ever played, this one doesn't have... It has, like, the least amount of ramp in it. which, let's be real, is probably why we're losing. I still kind of like Helm of the Host, though. Oh, still doing things. It is 5 minutes to equip, though. It is 5. But there's a lot of stuff in here that, like, you're never upset. Because it copies and they're non-legendaries, right? That's how it... Yeah. Copying Toph is actually huge. This is really funny. Guide of Souls is... animating things doesn't really... I still think a Johnny is just... The problem with playing a card like this is it just has nothing to do with Toph. And it's just a Johnny. It's like playing Ragavan. Like you just play it. Does Felia do anything? Not really. No, not really. It's also non-land permanence, so... kind of hard to target my land artifacts. Kind of hard. Boromir spam. Oh, wait, nope. You can't earthbend people. Mondrak is tokens or artifacts? Artifacts? Mondrak is cool. I don't have a token thing about it, but we could effectively always have a 4/4 indestructible every time we cast it. To what avail, I know not. I know, I gotta watch the show again. It's been a while. Oh, it's been a minute. It's not even that long. Like, the Avatar show's not... It really isn't that long. Archduke Sharp's cool, right? Kind of? Sort of. Nisu? No. What about... No, not that. The Worm? Great Worm? I was thinking about this card. As we've seen, though, I haven't been able to swing with big 1/1 countered creatures, so maybe it's just not viable. Not reasonable. Anim Pakal is another kind of interesting one. I could put Conclave back in, just for the sake of counters. What was the bottom part? Exile a creature with the greatest power. So a counter, then exile. This seems pretty lackluster, especially if I need a removal spell. It doesn't feel good that your opponent knows about it for 3 turns. Just play Get Lost at that point. Oh, what about you? Tokens. Ugh. Jetmir? What about Jetmir? I don't know if I animate fast enough. I don't feel like I animate fast enough for Jetmir. Where are you? So 3 or more is Vigilance. And Vigilance is pretty useful, I will admit. And then 6, you get Trample. And then 9, you get Double Strike. That's a lot of Toph triggers to have been effectively left alone. And as we've seen, it is hard to trigger Toph even like 3 times in any one game, let alone 9 Or at the very least, let's say like 6 or 7-ish, maybe 5 to 7. Before we get to the crazy part. I thought about Embercleave as well. But you don't really want to animate Embercleave. It doesn't really matter much if it's a land. What card cares about your land count? Equal to your lands. Because we have a lot of lands in the form of artifacts. Equal. Settle the Wilds is kind of all over the place when you're just vomiting stuff into play with the artifact lands. Lumra doesn't see them as lands in the graveyard. Otherwise, that would be nuts. That'd be great, actually. Lands are swamps. Okay. Urborg. Number of swamps on the battlefield. Okay. So when we play this, it's very large. That's funny, but so is Lumra. And I guess this thing as well. This counts your opponent's swaps, technically. Swamps. Swamps. Tanic? Oh, yeah, Tanic is neat. Tanic is consistent without having ramp spells. It's kind of cool, I guess. Titania? Yeah, sacking the artifacts is kind of cool. And then Tanic reads land, right? Just your second land. Yeah, those are great. Those are good. I guess in some fashion, something like this. Well, maybe not that one, but what about Tifa? How consistently? Let's see. I play Tifa. I play Toph. I have a land drop. Let's say it's a fetch land. We go to 2. We go to 4. We play an artifact. 8. We play another artifact. 16. We play another artifact. 32. So ideally, you would have 3 artifacts in the turn in which you would swing with it. And on top of that, also a land. Oh, on top of it actually would be a fetch land. So like 2, 4, 8, 16, 30. Okay, that's a lot. That's asking a lot, I think. Because it resets unlike Mossborn. So it kind of has to all be in the same turn. I would like making 4/4s, but I don't know if that's very good. What about 5/5s, that lightning bolt? Is this reasonable? I mean, we have a lot of artifacts, but the problem is a card like this, you could just play it in a deck that actually casts a bunch of Cultivate and Rampant Growths and get your 5/5s all the same. This also costs 7, yeah. Ugh. That would be a very goofy 7-drop to play, but I mean, you know, that's something. Something. I don't know if I like these. Not really. Maybe I don't play Esper Sentinel. I wasn't playing it the other day when I could have as well. It did draw a card today, but I've been kind of off of Esper Sentinel lately. Especially when a lot of what your opponents are doing don't care about Esper Sentinel. Maybe just not part of the equation anymore. Springheart's kind of funny, right? What are we bestowing? Honestly, I'm not really bestowing that much in this deck. There's some things, but not a lot. Alright, I'll play a couple more. Just a couple more. I think I've parsed out what this deck... Yeah, Titanic Split. That's the 2-mana mountain one, right? You deal damage equals the amount of mountains you control? No, I don't think that's what that is, actually. Yeah, I don't know, Split. Is that the MDFC? I thought about Skrelv. I don't really care to have the Mother of Runes effect in here. So, I don't know. Alright, I have a solid hand. I have a solid hand. Nomad Outpost. Wow. That is deep. It's very deep. Temple of Plenty. Opponent's mana base is spicy. I like it. Let's play dumb stuff here. I'm gonna put the counters on this. I'd rather the birds not be a threatening presence to my opponent. I think. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. We're gonna play that. I could have put counters on the bird. I think it's just fine here. So, human, star. That is notably not a shrine. Human. Here. Alright, this is a second. This counts as a land, so. Alright, there we go. See, we're getting in the counter beatdowns. It's actually doing the things. Animate this. And if my opponent kills it, I draw. Which is why I like it. If they do kill it, though, even though I do draw, I don't really have anything else. My hand is, in fact, not anything else. Well, they didn't snap it off, so I guess there's more game to be played. Okay, this makes 1/1s at some point. Mindslaver. Ugh. I love it. Alright, yep. The cub is just gonna... It just ran absolutely wild with everything here. It also has trample, so my opponent can't stop it. It's just gonna fly right over this thing. But if they did have a sweeper there, I think it was kind of lights out. I'm surprised they cast this instead of their commander. I think the casting commander is just strictly better here. It's certainly better than this thing, especially if it could just hit Sanctum of All, right? And then if you get a turn, it can start doing the thing, but... Huh. Interesting. Alright, yeah. I mean... Vomited green ramp spells and then cast that, and they didn't deal with it, so... Just in the fashion of, Mossborn Hydra, it just runs out of control really fast. It doubles the ones, currently on it. Yeah, currently on it. So... Ran away with that one real fast. Our commander mattered. I mean, it put the counter on the thing and did the stuff. Oh, tectonic split. Yeah, you sack half your lands, and the rest of them tap for 3. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Isn't it 6 mana, though? Do I have a hand here? If I draw a land, this is actually kind of fine. Okay, that's fine. That technically counts. That is not a discard spell. Wow. Okay. It is random, right? Yeah. So we want to play Sacred Foundry. And then these two. Yeah, I would like these two to be a thing. And then pass. And now we can discard at random. As long as one of the lands sticks around, I'm happy. If they both go, I'm certainly not that happy about that. This is protection from white, right? Okay, they just didn't cast their commander. Why is that? I don't know. Board wipe? Okay, there goes the... I don't even know. I don't see why they would care about Mindslaver, so probably just take the artifact that's castable. You can just make me lose the Mindslaver later. Yeah, I would do the same thing. Alright, let's do the thing with stuff. Alright, we're in there with Maze Mind's Tome. It would make the artifacts better? What do you mean? Okay, let's scry. I'm going to get rid of Sylvan's Safekeeper, I think. Spare Supplies is actually pretty solid given the current situation. Oh, we both discard too as well. Alright, let's get rid of Mindslaver. Mindslaver's not going to be a part of this game, realistically. And I guess I'll get rid of the land. Get rid of these two. So, always play this. Playing off the top is kind of nice against what I'm playing against specifically. So, okay. I lose 2 cards anyways, might as well play Exploration. Swing for 3. Animate the Spare Supplies. When do you gain 4? Just when it has the page counters, okay. Alright, that's a little annoying. It's a little annoying. Alright. Slightly less annoying now that I've just drew that. Let's play this for 2. Wait, nope. Nope. Can only do it for 1. Yep. These don't tap for mana. I keep doing that. And I'm going to keep doing it until the day I am no more. Alright, you need a Sweeper. Needs to be off the top. Alright, didn't get it. Yeah, they never cast their commander. It was probably right to not worry about Mindslaver, though, especially when my opponent doesn't have any cards anyways. It's just not going to do anything if I steal my opponent's turn, but I could have it just chilling in play until I would choose to flip it or something. Terminus exiling this and getting this back is kind of nice, but you'd have to have a way to consistently kill it. Oh, wait, no, it exiles the first card, right? Yeah, right, you wouldn't have access to this. 5 mana Shieldred is kind of neat. How does it flip? 8 cards? 8 cards, yeah. 3. With the Molt Tender, that's going to be a little hard. Yeah, okay, I can't say I'm too scared of it flipping. Turak does have this interesting thing where your opponent kind of runs out of cards at some point rather quickly if all you're doing is what my opponent was doing, and then when it comes into play, it might not have anything to discard left. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't start with that card. Or just lead with it on turn 3 or whatever. Interesting. Look, it wasn't mono green, so I'll take it. My opponent wasn't a green player like everyone else has been today. We take those. Get Trogbuster. Alright, well, we're both dirtling. We're just spinning wheels, hanging out with toys, doing funny stuff. Unfortunately, our opponent is a vastly superior version of that. Is this a good hand? It's kind of okay, but against the Gitrog monster, I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. Alright, if we're left alone and we get to the mana we need, this hand's kind of neat. Alright, well, they're on the play with that, as is tradition. As is tradition. 1 into 3 on the play, I guess. We just didn't get to play anyways. If that's what happens. Maybe we can. No, because I'd have to, like, sack this, and I don't want to sack it. So, not quite. Interesting they did this in that order. They didn't have to do that. Yeah, okay. Opponent says if they can't ramp, then neither can I. Well, now we're just back to having basically nothing. Now I have to crack this to find a red source and simply cast my commander at a reasonable point. Is there an answer in the hand yet? No. This seems unnecessary. It seems a little unnecessary. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know if they had to do that. It probably doesn't matter whatsoever, but I don't think they had to. Mills 3 lands. Okay. You got it. I'm over it. Gitrog Monster, ladies and gentlemen. Gitrog Monster. I have not beaten a Johnny or the Gitrog Monster in weeks. Weeks. It's been quite a while since I've beaten them. As far as I'm to remember, at least. I'm just... Well, I mean, playing the decks, I mean, I'm playing a new deck every day, so it's not really a surprise. But still... I haven't beaten them in weeks. In fact, I don't know if I've ever beaten a Johnny. No, we talked about this the other day. I only beat it once. And it was that one game with those 1 cards. With that 1 set of cards. 1 cards is not grammatically correct. What a... Does it say any color? We'll look at it after this game. Toph hasn't done anything, man. Animating lands is not as easy as I would have thought. Even though they come back and don't stay dead forever. So, Temple Garden, Halfling. Hope we draw land? Yeah. I did not draw a land. This is a legendary, so green. Yep. Oh, there we go. Let's cast the right card here. Put that in play. Alright, we have the mana. Animating manlands? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, there's like... I wish they weren't tapped all the time, but that's not awful. I wonder if they swing here. Do you think they swing? I would swing. Land of Realms is way better than DRC, so... If I draw a land, I think I'm going right into Mythweaver Pock. But if I don't... I guess I'm not. Well, they don't swing. Oh, no, you should swing. Okay, there we go. They figured it out. They realized this is a mythic, this is not. I did not draw a land. In fact, I drew a really depressing card. Is there anything I can do about that? Warp that. No, that doesn't really do anything. Alright. I'm just gonna animate my Ozolith. It is now forever chilling as a 3/3. My opponent appears to have something. What is that? Subtlety? No, they would have cast it. So, oh no, they wouldn't. It's uncounterable. Is it subtlety? It can't be grief. It's not solitude. It wasn't pact of negation. I don't know. Did my opponent make a 3? Oh, they did make a 3 too. Huh. Why did you do that? Oh, it was Snuff Out. Well, why did you wait till I animated the Ozolith? Seems weird. Well, my opponent answered my 4-mana commander for 0 mana. Not ideal, if I'm to be honest with you. Not ideal. But wait, there's more? Alright, so next turn things might happen. I don't think there's an attack here. Yeah. I could have activated Ozolith on itself. That just seems kind of weird. No, there's a reason to cast it here. This is not a treasure token. I was going to say otherwise you might as well wait. It's not a treasure token though. Alright, that's a reason to make a token, I guess. Although you could have just sacked a treasure, honestly. Making 3/2s here, not free. You gotta be kind of careful. This is a combo deck, I think. Yeah. I don't see one, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... This is uncounterable, but that doesn't mean I can just pay for it and do the thing instantly. I guess I just got comboed out. They haven't shown me a win condition, though. But I guess it doesn't matter, because you just do that infinitely. Whatever the combo is apparently doesn't need red mana. Oh wait, they can just do that All the same. I don't know the combo of this deck. I've never seen it actually do the thing, and it did it on turn 5, so I guess it's obscenely consistent. Discard your hand, look for 3 cards, sure. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. What is the damage? Where do we go from here? Is this in the graveyard? No. Mystic Mastery is already in the graveyard, although wouldn't really be doing much. I mean, I'm sure it's a very straightforward 3. Again, I just don't know what it is. I did not expect any of them to be Dark Ritual, though. Shield Druid Stare? No? Mine's Desire for 5. Huh. Snapcaster Flare, so that copies something. Well, you shouldn't copy a Mind's Desire. Okay, they do copy a Mind's Desire. That doesn't get a Storm one. Yeah, just a redraw, effectively. Teachings will find something. That picks something up. Charming Scoundrel, I guess, sure. And a land. So we Scoundrel for a looting? No. We find an instant. Or sorceries are always instant. It's just instant. Removal spell? Right? Yep. This kills the... What does that kill? Ocelot? This is not at Grape Shot level yet. They're only at 10, I think. Maybe 11. Well, there's no Brain Freeze. Tendrils? Is it in their hand? No, it's not in their hand. Their hand is empty. They can tutor it for... They can tutor it right now. And still have mana to do the thing. Okay, I guess I'll hold control so I don't have to wait for all of them to resolve, but I'll make them show me it. Oops. Oh, they didn't have it. They didn't have it. I held control so if they put it on the stack, I wouldn't get stuck here staring at them all resolve. I could just concede. They didn't have it. What happened? Oh, you know what happened? I think... You know what I think genuinely happened? They probably did have it, but they ran out of time. And then went to combat and was going to do it here, but they don't have any mana because it's all floating. Oh, I'm going to assume that's what happened. That is so funny. That's so funny. Well, get me to all that effort and you bungled it at the very end. All that effort and it just fizzled out at the end on accident. Assuming that's what was going on here. I don't know. But yeah, I held control so I could just concede. Otherwise, you have to sit there and wait for every tendril to resolve, and you can't concede till it's done. It's just like... But... Okay, that's cool. I've never seen this do the thing before, and there it was doing the thing. I've also never seen anyone ever rope out while never doing the same thing twice. This is not a looping combo. I mean, it was to start with the sacrifice spam thing, but then they like tried to win with the other cards there and fizzled out. That's really funny. All right, well, get Schmied. I should play that. That feels like the Rowan deck that I wish Rowan was. That's funny. Well, we didn't really interact that much. We just kind of watched them do the thing. But I guess I'll take it. I'm over this, by the way. We're done here. We're done here. Okay, so this commander is very cool. I love what it's doing. The cards it can play. It's just neat. There's probably 300, 400 cards in the game that are somewhat viable with this thing. But it's kind of like Azula, the 4-mana Grixis thing we just played, where at least this is in green, so you could play it somewhat faster than the other one, the other 4-mana commanders, and you can get some value immediately, unlike Azula, because it does something on your end step, and you don't have to just untap with it. It can still die, though, repeatedly before you get to your end step. Counter spells and whatnot. But let's say it's doing the thing, you know, it's in play, you got artifacts going. The problem is, I was being ignored no matter what I was doing because other players were doing way better things. So I was, for the most part, kind of doing what I wanted to. I will say we spent a lot of time in the deck builder today, like I don't know, probably about half the time spent was just in the deck builder, and I like that. It's maybe not the most interesting thing to watch, but I love just chilling in the deck builder. I have so many decks just simply on Cockatrice. I have like 500 decks on that thing. It's just sitting there making decks is so fun to me. So I do like that side of this thing, and as I was building it, there goes the voice, just right on time. As I was building this, I was bumping into more and more things that were interesting to do with this. Maybe not all of it wants to be in the same deck, so if you want to be like a beatdown thing, which I think is possible, you probably can pivot way more into that than I was, but there is a certain breakpoint or threshold or whatever where your commander doesn't have a lot to actually do with that beatdown plan, right? You can animate like an artifact land or something, or you can animate, I don't even know, something that you want to swing in with that is swinging alongside of other things you've already played. Probably something like this. Picture this in the command zone, and Toph is just the top end thing. The Toph end. But I don't know. You know, if I can avoid playing a beatdown deck, you know I'm going to do it. The hardened scale side of this is cool. I was playing, I think, basically every card, at least that I was cognizantly aware of, that doubles 1/1 counters. And, you know, if you ever put another one, or put a counter on something, put more than one, like, these, what is it called? This thing, where instead of 2 counters, you put 3? That seems kind of neat, I guess, but I don't really care about that. Right? This is only really good if you already have something like, well, I guess hardened scales, but something that like doubles the counters, and it becomes exponentially crazy. I just never had any games, and it's funny because the one time I played against this, my opponent had like 3 1/1 counter spammer cards like hardened scales in play. In fact, I think they had Hardened Bonds in play that game. I never drew this card. This was never in play. If it was, I feel like we're great. Like, you play this, every time you trigger your commander, you're getting more counters, and you're just finding cards. Like, that. This is probably the best card in the deck. Never saw it. I could have, to be fair, Enlightened Tutored for it maybe a bit more, instead of going for, like, I don't know, the One Ring or something. So, because I did cast Enlightened Tutor once or twice, to be fair. But yeah, so I don't really like these in isolation. And also, I don't really make this thing itself grow. Same with the Kami. I don't grow this. It just sits there. You can play cards that do put counters on it, but those cards don't. It has nothing to do with the Earth Bend, really. Maybe there's a few that I wasn't aware of, but like this is just gonna be a 1/1 for a while, if not forever. Every single game, I'm just not putting counters on it. If it was an artifact, that'd be great because then I could Earthbend it or something. But it's not. So just an additional counter is not really that crazy to me. I just didn't feel convinced that was the right thing to do. But stuff like Earth Crystal feels great. Or Gavany... is it Gavany Township? Do we have Gavany Township? I don't even know. We don't. Gavany Township is the... this thing. It's this, except cost 5 to activate. I think it's 4 mana, and then the land itself, and then you can, boom, you can, like, you could play this. I mean, I kind of like what it's doing a little bit. It's not that bad to me. I mean, I've never really played many decks that like this card, but if you're really heavy into the green-white 1/1 counter thing, there you go. Just didn't really feel like I was in that direction enough to play this. But I do like the hexproof side of it as well. This was ignored when it was in play, I noticed, and that's not a good sign. I played this, and I'm doing what I want to do. I'm animating things, I'm drawing cards off the things I'm animating, and they're coming back, so I can do it again and again. Just, let's say, like Mishra's Bauble, Chromatic Star, even this thing, right? The problem is my opponent just doesn't care about that. They just don't care, right? Every time I was against a green player, they just doubled the pace of what I was doing and then cast 6 drops. And I'm sitting here trying to spin up some 1/1 counter land or artifact and trying to make it big and swing in with it, or go wide with a few of them. Like, there's just so many decks don't care at all about what this commander is doing. You have a card like this in the game, and then you have a card like, which actually you probably could have put in this deck. What is it called? Lamb, Lom, Loom, Lamb, Lom, Loom. You could play this 4 mana 3/3, same stat line. Just every time you cast a non-creature spell, which a deck is full of artifacts, suddenly this is crazy, right? It's a cascading issue. If you just untap with this, you're going to make a lot of threatening tokens. And I mean a lot. So this just kind of does the same thing I'm looking to do, but way more streamlined. Way more streamlined. It doesn't have like the cool looping Chromatic Star thing or whatever, but you're just gonna... that doesn't matter. You're just gonna vomit so many stats so quickly that if your opponent doesn't kill this route outright, then it's like sweeper or bust, essentially. And Toph has resiliency with earthbending, keeping the thing if it dies, but that resiliency doesn't translate to like a hardcore threat that your opponent's got to like really deal with, because it's the resiliency. The toughness isn't winning, right? Having this every single turn and not having it die because it just keeps coming back if your opponent's spamming removal on it doesn't necessarily translate to a win. I still have to do things on top of that to close the game out. Paradox Engine does not work while my commander is in play, so that is something to take note of. So if you have the One Ring and you're spamming it with Engine, all your artifacts are now lands, so that doesn't untap. But that to me is just fine, because if it ever does die and suddenly you have this with the One Ring, you just draw your whole deck, assuming you have any mana tapping sources. At some point, actually, I did have all the mana rocks on 2, because they're artifacts for this thing. They're lands. When this is in play, they tap for actual mana as artifacts, as lands, because they have text on them that lets them. So I was playing all of them, but I just pivoted into the mana dorks because those are just better, in my opinion. The artifact payoff of having Gruul Signet be a 2/2 or whatever, and it's not better than Llanowar Elves. It just isn't. So I ended up taking those out and adding these. which does kind of make the One Ring Paradox Engine loop more difficult without all those mana rocks. But if that's something that... I think it's still fine, right? It doesn't take that much to go crazy. And you don't even really have to go infinite. You know, that's not 100%. You just draw... You can tap it like twice in a turn, or 3 times, and you're fine. You don't really have to go crazy. I mean, that's already kind of going crazy. I did actually take out Godo because it took out so many of the 2-mana ramp spells that it was getting basically more and more difficult, and then at some point kind of just impossible or very unlikely that I'm getting 11 mana in any one game, even though I'm basically mono green. Which is kind of cool. I mean, if I'm going to play mono green and have it not be all about just casting ramp spells, it's kind of neat. But that doesn't stop your opponents. They're going to do that. They don't care what you're doing. They're going to do that. Also, Cityscape Leveler just felt better than... was it Platinum Angel? Yeah, Platinum Angel. So, Platinum Angel, while giving it resiliency, is cool. I think actually the one game, and I don't know if I said this in the intro, but when Platinum Angel is busy trying to come back from being dead after being earthbended, if you're in the negatives, you'll just die before it comes back into play. And the one time I had it in play, that's actually what happened to me, which is really funny. So yeah, it's just like 9 lives or some other funny thing. It's going to sit there until your opponent cares about it. Maybe Overwhelming Splendor is pretty solid because there's a lot of answers that can't answer it anymore because they're all just 1/1s with no text. But Overwhelming Splendor is also just pretty reliably answered at this point. I'm not really on that card anymore. I never got to Mindslaver spam, and people did survive through Hope of Geoper spamming when I looped this over and over. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop your opponent from casting instants on your turn, so they can just kill it or disrupt it in some way, and then they can just start playing the game normally again. So it isn't like a hard lock or anything. Sometimes it can feel that way, and sometimes it's just good enough to get there before they would answer it or something. But yeah, it's cool. It gets to play cool cards. It has a lot of card options. You can go all in on just trying to make something really tall, just earthbend a giant thing and swing for 1 billion, but earthbending is not a safe bet to victory, albeit a resilient one, because, again, you don't lose the permanent forever, which is really nice. Imagine losing the card. Oh, that would be so bad. Actually, I would never even bother to play it. If you lose the card forever, not only would the deck look completely different, it would be way worse as a mechanic. Having said that, a lot of the earthbending cards themselves didn't really feel too enticing to actually play in this deck. So maybe with the other Tophs, that could be the thing or something. Like maybe this one, or I don't know. But with this one, I guess I could have tried more manlands. I really don't like I really don't like manlands, but if you animate them, some of them are cool. Like Den of the Bugbear, I believe, doesn't do anything. Yeah, this, you still have to pay mana to give it the ability to make goblins and stuff. But some of them might matter. Definitely not Treetop Village. Nope, not even Raging Ravine. What about this one? When it attacks, another creature gets +2/+0. Okay, so that one has text on it that, you don't have to pay mana to have. This gives a counter. That's kind of cool. This is sort of what we're trying to do. I mean, at this point, you might as well just play goofy, funny, cute things like this. Honestly, just slide it in there just for the sake of having it. I don't really like that one. Is that actually all of them? Wow, I thought there were more than that. I thought there were more than that. All right, well, never mind. The manland package is actually kind of not exciting at all. I could have swore there were like 2 or 3 more that were somewhat interesting. But yeah, because you have to actually still pay mana to give them the ability, then it's not really a thing, honestly. But I guess that one is kind of okay. It's also on theme with 1/1 counters, but yeah, the rest are whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's just an uphill battle. But if you don't really care, this is a really cool deck. If you don't really care about winning and you just want to play the game, this is cool. You're just sitting there doing your thing. You know, you're you're putting your fingers on your cards. You're sliding them around. You're putting counters around and drawing some cards and eventually causing some form of critical mass that would kill your opponent. But yeah, the Toph matters cards sort of thing that really synergize heavy with this are not the strongest cards in here, right? The best cards in here are still just like Exploration, maybe Bristly Bill and Cub. Oh, not that Cub. The Scythe Cat Cub thing. I guess now that this is in here, this is probably just better and it doesn't have anything to do with this. Yeah, I don't know. Oswald is cool, I guess, but again, it doesn't really per se do anything with this other than get back the thing you sacrificed, which is kind of cool. But then if you sack a 2, all you can find are 3s, right? This doesn't increase the mana value of the animated thing if I just continuously sack a 2 over and over. Ichor, Wellspring, might be better than Spare Supplies, but I just really like the ability to sack my own thing, and I don't have to have my opponent kill it. With Oswald, obviously I can, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot. You're just trying to set up a lot of things, and it doesn't take too much for you to get disrupted. But again, there's a lot of instances where my opponents did not disrupt me because they just didn't have to. They could just ignore me. So even when you are finally in a position to not be ignored, you're then all the interaction that Azula had to deal with is going to come out and then just blow you back to the Stone Ages. So it's just so much. It's asking for so much, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate because so far I really like the Avatar cards. I like them a lot more than the Spider-Man cards, that's for sure. And they're doing really cool things. It's just the power level of Historic Brawl doesn't care about those cool things. You could say that's because 70% of your deck in any one color are like staples. I don't know how many staples we're willing to admit there are per color at this point, but let's say green has 35. Someone could make that argument. It's an unfortunate one to make, but it's arguable that there are 35 cards in your deck that are staples. If you have green in your deck, if your commander can put green cards, there's 35 staples. Boom. And then you can think about the last 20% of your deck actually having something to do with this. I think I was just slightly worse off for trying to make this work more than simply playing 1 into 3 vomit ramp spells, and I kind of already was. Actually, you know, I didn't have all the 3 mana ramp spells. I really didn't. I just had a bunch of the ones. It was cool that Chromatic Lantern and Ren and I guess Dryad too, they let your artifacts tap for mana when they otherwise don't. Just because they're lands, they don't tap for mana. These would allow them to. But, it would be kind of nice if there was some form of mana sink that this deck could have in it. Like, if this had some kind of X thing or whatever to top off all that stuff that you could do. I don't know. But honestly, at the point where even Lightning Greaves, I think this was in play and connected a few times here, and opponents still didn't care, right? Like, this has Shroud. My commander is untouchable. It's chilling, it's doing its thing, and it's Shroud. Opponent's like, alright, cool. Great. I'm going to win. You made your little 2/2s, you drew your cards, you sometimes did cooler things than that, but it never translated into a compounding victory, and you lose. So it's like, yep, them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. But, I don't know, really cool commander. One of those commanders I suppose I would maybe try again, maybe in Standard, although I did touch around in Standard for a second there. Wasn't super enthralled with what it looks like in Standard. You also have to play against Ketramos every other game in Standard, and Ketramos does not care at all about this in any way, shape, or form. So that would be a uphill battle for sure. No, maybe Standard is now different because Toph, or maybe now is the time to play Standard because everyone wants to play new commanders until they just start playing Ketramos again. I don't know. But, yeah, just uphill battle. Something to maybe try with 50 different cards. Just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. But this did not stick. Did not stick. But let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Yavimaya? Oh yeah, sure. I mean, you could put Yavimaya in here. I was never color screwed. Green is the color that doesn't get color screwed that much, and Yavimaya is one of the least played ones of the bunch. Well, there's not many. Was it just Urborg is the other one? Oh, there might be an island one now, too. Maybe not. But yeah, Yavimaya is in the color in which you don't struggle with mana color issues ever, really. Like, ever. I don't think I was in a single game color screwed. You also have 9 fetch lands. Oh, I guess there's Prismatic Vista as well. Did I have Vista? I did, yeah. So there's 10 fetch lands. I don't think you want Fabled Passage. Yeah, you don't need Yavimaya, but if you have it and you want to put it in here, that's fine. Do I even have Yavimaya? I don't even know. I actually do not know if I own it. I don't own it. Look at that. Yeah, I would actually make the argument this can just sometimes actually help your opponent, and then it's immediately worse. It's at best sometimes turning your non-green lands into green lands, which there's not many non-green lands to begin with, and the downside is your opponent is potentially color fixed if you do that. Like, it's just not. I would not play this if I really had to get min-maxy about it. I just wouldn't recommend it. Urborg is a lot more reasonable, I think. Honestly, all the other 4, if they ever exist. What would the red one be? Shivan? It wouldn't be Valakut, because Valakut's already a thing. So it would probably be something Shivan. Probably. What would the blue one be? I don't know. Some archipelago? Archipelago? Allergic? What would the green, black, red, blue... Yeah, what would the white one be? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Alright, GG's. I'm out of here. I don't know what I'm going to play next. I don't know. I don't plan that far ahead. I don't plan what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I don't plan that far ahead.